Hey, what is up, everyone? Today I'm going to talk about a topic that is really, really important, and that is, does Bitcoin cut the rent seekers out of our society? Now, first and foremost, you don't have to look far to see that there are rent seekers as far as the eye can see. There are people that got into high up positions, not based off of how hard they work or how smart or knowledgeable they are in the area, rather, how politically connected, how they can game the system and weasel their way through to a position of power. So we saw this actually just a few weeks ago with the economic advisor to Joe Biden, who really didn't know what he was talking about when it came to Fed money printing, the balance sheet, just basic economic principles. He had no idea what he was saying. It was so embarrassing that this is the guy that is really leading our country. But it got me thinking. I'm like, okay, this is one case. This is one case from the financial side of Joe Biden. Who else in our administration is a rent seeker who doesn't actually know how the system works and how things actually are constructed? Rather, they got put into that role as a bureaucrat, as a middle manager, as someone who is benefiting from the efforts of others, and they're reaping the big benefits. People become rent seekers for a lot of reasons, guys. It could be power, status, money. There are many reasons why you have these type of seekers in society. And I think it comes down to the fact that in today's day and age, yeah, it's hard to make money. There's a shrinking middle class. There's people that are either rich who already have assets, or there's the poor, the working poor, who can't afford a decent way of life. So people become rent seekers because it's their one step up to the next class, or they're just kind of filling a void and they're getting paid a lot for doing that. So they don't actually are doing this out of malintent. Rather, they got selected for the position and they're going to take it, because what else are they going to do? So we see this all the time in corporate. You look at middle management and you just look, and sometimes you just see, how did that person get that job? This person's making 250 grand a year and he doesn't even know how to open up Excel. He doesn't know how to turn his monitors on. He doesn't know anything. How the heck did he get that job? Well, guys, that is because of connections. And we see this go throughout the economy, and that's just the reality of life. Life in corporate and other places is a lot about connections. So it doesn't matter how good you are at something. Sometimes you just need to know the hiring manager and hit it off with them. So I think on a Bitcoin standard, we're going to see a reduction of all this middle management and rent-seeking parasitic behavior on the management structure. We're going to see people that actually know what they're talking about that get positions, because at the end of the day, there's going to be a value for value future. And if you're not providing value, then why would you have someone in that position, right? Might as well just have the analyst report directly to the director, or the manager report directly to the VP, whatever it may be. If you're not adding value in the future, what's the point of having you? So you also look at this with artists, right? We have so many record labels. We have so many music labels. And these guys, they sign on the best talent you can imagine. The best talent. And they literally just extract. They extract. I kind of look at it like a cow, like those machines that hook up to them. They just extract and extract, and yes, the person signed the contract. But in 2-3 years from now, they're still often not seeing a lot of the fruits of their labor and the benefits that they've incurred. So, it's just one of those things where you see these record labels, these music labels, these artists really get put in a bad position, and the rent seeker, the middle management, the corporate hierarchy, the healthcare administrators at a lot of these hospitals, whatever it may be, they don't add a lot of value. They reap the benefit without putting in the proof of work. And so Bitcoin, I think in the future, none of this will ever go away maybe in full, but it could get reduced through a deflationary money, a harder money, where capital allocators will think twice before having someone in that position. In a soft money world, throw more headcount at it, right? Because if you don't throw more headcount in it, you lose the budget for next year. So Bitcoin, I think, will seek to disintermediate a lot of the non-value added positions from society. I think these non-value added positions, you can easily look, it's like administrative type marketing work, administrative assistants, not all, but there's many out there that are getting paid 6 figures plus for setting up Outlook calendars. I mean, a lot of positions out there, guys, will end up going away. And I'm not saying that because administrative assistants aren't valuable. They are, but at the level that they're getting paid, and at a lot of things in this fiat world, they just don't make sense. You just look at it and you see someone making 200 grand plus, and it's like, how are they making all that money? It's because they're connected and they have the right they have the right leaning towards the corporate hierarchy. So I think in the future, we're going to see a lot of these creators and value creators directly seek the capital from what service they're providing. For example, Wavelength, I think it's Wavelake. It's this new program. I think it's a couple years old, but what it does is you can actually send sats to your favorite artists, essentially. And it's pretty cool. I actually think it's something that really benefits creators, and you're actually able to pay the creators directly rather than having to go through some middleman. I do think there needs to be a lot more adoption with this product. I don't think right now it's quite there yet, but there are options to pay your artist directly, and I think that's an important thing to do rather than paying a label and maybe the label treats the artist good for a while and then they get left high and dry. So Bitcoin, it will help change the incentive structure in the future, from my view. But I think we also need to look bigger than that. We need to look at what can we do now, because right now Bitcoin is not fully adopted to the point where it's changing the incentive structure for many people. What we can do now is we need to speak up. Hey, is that position really needed, guys? Because if you have a department of 10 people and you hire a rent seeker, well, now you have less budget, right? 100 grand a year, maybe less budget for your current department. And you hire this new person because of why? Just because? So I think we need to speak up when we see this rent-seeking behavior. And it may be uncomfortable at first, but at the end of the day, call it out as it is. I think we will see things change in the future. And I think this whole parasitic rent-seeking class, I think it will move down to a more limited capacity in the future. In the future, who knows? We may have literally maybe a small IT team at a company and a board of directors interfacing directly with AI or directly with the shareholders. I don't think in the future we're going to need a lot of these middle management figures who are all essentially doing the same thing. They're not specialized in any one area, and their skill set isn't really deep. So overall, these are just some of my thoughts. I know I kind of went on some tangents, but essentially what I want to leave you guys with is this. Does Bitcoin cut the rent seekers out of society? And while I don't think it'll get rid of them completely, I think it will reduce it. And I think the people, the chief financial officers of this world, the capital allocators will understand through deflationary money, we need to be more sensible with how we allocate headcount to the organization. And if someone's just trying to collect a check, it's going to be pretty transparent and pretty easily to spot out. Anyways, guys, I love this as always. Please be sure to give it us a couple sats, share it, like it, keep it going, guys. I really like this, and I'm going to keep throwing out the best content for you because this is something I'm really passionate about. Also, if you're not already in Stacker News, I have a link below. Please be sure to check it out. It is a great place to talk to other people in the space and just really learn about Bitcoin. Anyways, I'll see you in the next one.